It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in tonight's battle. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. All that and more coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So the Falcons make their way out behind their new quarterback for 2024, signed back in March, the veteran Kirk Cousins.
And coming off of an offseason where Kirk Cousins was coming back from an Achilles injury, he thought that was going to be his biggest challenge. Instead, the Falcons drafted Michael Penix out of Washington in the first round. And while that was a jolt, Kirk Cousins has a great ability to just shake things off, move forward, and let his talents come through.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cousins looking to put it up right away. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. On play action, Cousins. That one deep for London. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That's a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I want to see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out come the Eagles for the first time, and the man in charge at quarterback in his 5th year now, Jalen Hurts.
He's coming off a season where he certainly experienced his fair share of ups and downs. On the positive side, he threw for career highs in passing yards and touchdowns. On the negative side, he threw the most interceptions in his career, and his team struggled and collapsed down the stretch. If he can get back to playing mistake-free football without sacrificing his aggressiveness, this team can get back to competing for a Super Bowl berth.
Here's Hurts to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Hurts sets up to throw it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep, Ray McLeod. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 1. Off the play fake, Cousins. And complete to Drake London. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch here for London, and also a 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins. That's to the former Bear, Darnell Mooney. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Nice grab there by Mooney and the Falcons. They're certainly hoping to see more of that after signing him this offseason. Plenty of talent there, and he's hoping that Kirk Cousins finds him with the football plenty of times this season.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch them.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Darnell Mooney. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are able to add on to that lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
A try here for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Throwing is Hurts.
And he will find his man on the outside. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
In motion left comes Brown. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. And it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing is Cousins. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
To throw, Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away.
Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
So the penalty declined, and they will keep the yardage on the completion.
And you could almost see him compartmentalize there throughout the route. Fought hard at the line of scrimmage, a lot of hand checking throughout the route. Great job staying focused on the football and pulling it in through the contact.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 46.
From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
That is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere. but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
The Falcons ready to take over.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Cousins now. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Devin White able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Throwing, Cousins.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now Cousins. Man open, that's Ray McCloud.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
To throw is Cousins. Throw left side, complete to McCloud. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Cousins to throw it.
Short throw caught by Pitts. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons first down as the tackle going to be made up at the 37.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Still 15 yards to go. Second down.
Play action now. Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Robinson up the middle.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Here's Hurts to throw. Quick slant to Brown.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Facing second and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yardage he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Flushed out right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And it's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. You know, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This is a game, Charles, it's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trail by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Up the middle with Barkley. And good work there in open space, and he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 42 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up first and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
He'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their route.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Saquon Barkley. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he'll he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd down and 6.
Cousins sets up the screen to Robinson.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 22.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Throwing is Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Matthew Judon in there to take him down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Cousins.
That's complete to Mooney.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
In motion goes McLeod.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Here's Cousins.
Short throw caught by Pitts.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
From just shy of midfield, here's a second down and 6. Option play, here's Robinson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Working out of the gun, Cousins.
Looking for London on the out route complete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On the counter, this is Robinson.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Cousins now.
Throw left side. There's London.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
Koo knocks this one through the post,
and they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
and it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10,
just shy of the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Here's 2nd and a yard.
They're going to look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete.
Oh, man, late in a tight ball game, every play so critical, you feel like you've got to find a way to come up with that football. That was put in a great spot, but it just didn't want to stick in his hands. That's a big letdown.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw.
Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here's first down. He's back to throw. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here we go, first and goal. Back to throw. Rolling to his left. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down 17-13, 43 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Here's Cousins. Oh, and that is incomplete.
This defense has been so stingy all game long. No reason to think it's suddenly going to open up now. They took their shot, but this, like many others, falls incomplete.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for 3rd down. Cousins to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.